back to MSUB Sports Corner. I hope you all had a wonderful break. I'm your host, Abby Duffner.
And I'm Andy Buckley. This week we'll be catching up on all the sporting events that we missed out on over the break.
Over the holiday break, our men's basketball team went 4-4. They now have 9 wins and 9 losses so far this season, and in the GNAC, the record is 2-5. Our women went 4-2 over the holiday break and have an overall season of 11-5. The ladies' record in the GNAC is 5-3. In recent events, the men's basketball team met Northwest Nazarene for the 26th time last Saturday. Coming from behind, the Jackets won a very exciting game, 63-61. Omar McDade reached 20 points for the second game straight. The MSUB women's basketball team came out strong last Saturday night against the number 8 seed, Western Washington, but was unfortunately unable to hang on as the Vikings claimed a 78-76 victory. Our very own Sam Johnson was featured on ESPN for his awesome dunk against Rocky Mountain College on December 17th.
How's it? From the Sports Center from Los Angeles, alongside Stan Verrett and Neil Everett.
Don't look at me.
Let's go to Montana, Rocky Mountain College, Montana State University, Billings. Sam Johnson. Take care of Sammy! Wow. Billings big over Rocky Mountain.
And in breaking news, our women's softball team has been ranked number 1 in preseason poll. And here is Andy with track and field.
MSUB track got off to a good start this season with their second meet taking place over Christmas break. The team traveled to Spearfish, South Dakota on December 12th, landing 8 provisional qualifying marks to the GNAC Championship. This left the team with 17 provisional marks and 3 automatic marks to the GNAC Championships. This last weekend, the track team took off for Boise, Idaho for the Bronco Classic. At this meet, Tanner Rottrup tossed a provisional qualifying mark for the NCAA Division II National Championship. His last throw was 52 feet 1 inch, matching his own school record. Robert Peterson also broke a pair of school records Saturday. The freshman ran a 4:22 mile, making a school record. He then finished the second in the 3,000 meter with a time of 8:51, breaking his own school record of 8:53. Next up, Abby will be talking to track coach David Kopic about his team and the team goals for the rest of the season, along with a short interview from Bobby Knutson.
All right, I am here with the head track and field and cross-country coach, Dave Kopic, who is in his 24th season, correct?
Yeah, that sounds about right. 24 seasons. Yeah.
Can you give us kind of an overall synopsis of how the season has gone so far for you guys?
Well, yeah, you know, with cross country last fall, it was one of the best years we've ever had. We ended up being nationally ranked. We broke into the rankings towards the end of the season after our conference meet, after the championships, and we finished 3rd in the GNAC, which was a big surprise to everybody except us. They had us picked last in the GNAC and 10th at the beginning of the season, preseason poll. And, you know, that didn't set well with any of us, so we knew we had a better team than that poll indicated on the men's side. And the guys went out there and you know, they took third place in a really tough conference, and so they broke into those national rankings, and then we went on to regionals, and we had a tough regional meet. It was in Hawaii, which sounds nice, but it's not the best place to run with a bunch of Montana guys. We just suffered a little bit in the heat, and we didn't have the best race. If it would have been at a place like Spokane or something like that, where next year, you know, we would have probably made nationals. But I'm really happy with the way the season went. Both the men's and women's teams did really well. So. And then track started up shortly after that. So now we're into the 3rd meet of the indoor track season. So we're on the way.
All right. Well, as far as returning athletes, who are you looking at to be kind of key success for your team this season?
Well, Tanner Rottrup, our shot putter, of course, was our, you know, he was a defending conference indoor champion. And so it's a senior year, and last year he had a provisional national mark, and he already hit that this year. So he's qualified for nationals, at least provisionally, which means that he has to end up somewhere in the top 16 or so to make it to nationals. So you know, Tanner's, you know, by far the one we were really counting on. And we had several distance runners that were coming back that we expect good things from. Tyson Vanderby, Taylor Canfield. Now on the women's side, Whitney Mickelson for outdoor, and Mary Owen. Gosh, we had a lot of people coming back. Stacy Pitt in the high jump and pole vault. Leah Berry in the multi-events. She's doing the pentathlon and the heptathlon, which are the number of events they do over a 1 or 2 day period. Yeah, and then the surprise this year has been Robert Peterson. He's a redshirt freshman. He was injured his freshman year and didn't start up until outdoors last year. And he came out during the cross-country season and really did well. He was our second finisher at cross-country at GNAC and was named Freshman of the Year in that meet. And he's just continued on that trend. He broke 2 school records already this indoor season in the mile. He ran a 4:22, which is pretty good indoors, and in the 3,000 meters, it's just short of a 2 mile. He ran 8:51 in that, and he's sitting, I believe, 3rd or 4th in the mile in the GNAC at the moment, and 2nd, I believe, in the 3,000 meters. So. Yeah, Robert was really a surprise. So he's got a good future ahead of him.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right. You guys have an upcoming meet this weekend.
Right.
To kind of keep the ball rolling. What are going to be your goals for this weekend?
We just want to continue to qualify more individuals for the conference championships. You have to. That's the whole goal of this regular season, is to get people qualified. You have to hit those marks, either a provisional or an automatic mark. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. Just getting to the conference championships is tough, much less scoring when you get to the conference championships. And it's so weighted towards the first few places at conference. You get 10 points for first, you only get 1 point for 8th place. And then even if you're the 9th runner or thrower or whatever in the conference meet, which is real good, you don't get any points. So we want to continue to qualify people, and we do every meet. We qualify a few more, and it just takes that long with the way our facilities are here, our season, and the way the training goes. So, but it's at Montana State. It'll be a really competitive meet with Bobcats and the Grizzlies, and then a number of other schools in Montana. Carroll has a good team. And then University of Great Falls. University of Mary will probably be there, and they're a very good Division II program. So that'll give us a chance to it'll really push us into getting those marks that we need. So and the other nice thing is it's a short trip. The trip to Nampa last week. I mean, that's tough on those guys. You sit on that bus for 11 or 12 hours and then try to compete the next day, and then right after the meet we get on the bus, and it was 12 hours back to Billings, and then they start up training again. So we're still a little tired from the trip, and by the time we recover, we're ready to go to another meet. So Bozeman's a pretty quick one for us. So.
Especially considering it was Napa.
Yeah. So 2 hours to Bozeman is great. We didn't even get settled in on the bus beforehand. So, but that's just the reality of where we are here. We are the most isolated Division II program in the country.
Wow.
If you really look at a map and figure out where your competition is and everything, even Alaska Anchorage isn't as isolated as us, because they just fly to the lower 48 and go to a meet on the coast, on the west coast somewhere. But we've got to go anywhere from on a bus 12 to 18 hours on a bus, for a longer trip. So it's tough, but they're good sports and they're used to the traveling. So they'll thank me in the end.
Well, you mentioned competing against like the Grizzlies and the Bobcats.
Yeah.
What is your schedule going to be like this season?
It's really a competitive schedule, and most of the meets we go to are Division I hosted meets. This last one was at Boise State. Of course, this week at Montana State, and next week we go to Idaho State down at Pocatello, and it's a 2-day meet down there, and there'll be of course Montana State, Idaho State, BYU, Utah State, and it just goes on. Weber State, so there's just a number of Division II schools there that are, some of the best in the country, and that will really help our team step up, to that competition. There's a point where you really need to have people push you in those meets and to get the faster times and the better marks in the field events. But it can be intimidating, but we're doing enough of them that I think we don't even look at them as Division I versus Division II or anything. We're all on the same meet, and everybody has the same goals. Those schools all have the same goals as we do. It's to try to qualify for their conference championships as well, and also to try to hit a nationals mark. So that's the thing someone like Tanner needs. He needs to get up to that kind of competition level and throw the shot with the big schools, And he did well at Boise State. He got third at Boise State, against a lot of good D1 throwers. So that's what it takes to step up to that level.
All right. Well, I know you mentioned a couple individuals. Do you have anything or any goals as a team that you guys talk about?
Yeah. I mean, the team goal is to know. First of all, it is an individual sport, but you've got to get your individuals to the conference championships, and then they have to score there. So as a team, we want to finish, of course, as high as we can in the GNAC, and it's tough. We struggle a little bit. It's a relatively new program. We're just going into the 6th year of the track program, and we're still building. But we want to be moving up in the GNAC, and we did in cross country. We finally kind of crossed over that threshold to where we're up in the top half, and we struggled for years. We were kind of in the cellar there for a few years, and now we're I think a legit team out there. Our problem may be with depth. We don't have the numbers that some of the other schools have in their track and field programs. Some of the schools like Western Washington, they have over 100 athletes on the team. I know Western Oregon has something close to that. Simon Fraser. And then you get schools like Simon Fraser in there. They're loaded with national class Canadian athletes. They have a woman on their team that ran on the Canadian Olympic team in London. She has a 159-800. So that's the kind of competition we're faced with. So we need to step up as a team and support each other out there. And the team's really good about going from event to event. If they're not competing at the moment or warming up for their event, they're over supporting the throwers or the jumpers or whatever. They're good about it. They understand by the time we get to that conference level, conference championship, that they've got to show up as a team, and then we start tallying points. So.
Okay. Well, Dave, thank you for being here today.
Yeah.
You guys, good luck this weekend and in the rest of your season. Hopefully I will be talking to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, I am here with point guard Bobby Knudsen. Bobby, can you give us a little bit of a background on yourself?
I'm from Malta, Montana. I'm a junior and I'm majoring in biology, and I've been playing basketball since 3rd grade.
Wow. All right, so you have had a very big season so far. You had a very big game against Dixie State. You had 33 points, and now you have reached 1,000 points. How does that make you feel?
Oh, it's a good accomplishment, and I don't really like all the publicity about it, but it feels good when you get it, and it's a good mark to get. But other than that, I just want to go out and win more games.
Do you have any personal goals like that you want to reach before the season is up?
I really want to get my team to the GNAC championship. That's what I really want to do.
All right. And how about any goals before you graduate next May?
We want to win the GNAC championship and make it to regionals and hopefully go on from there.
All right. How about any advice that you would give to any incoming players here at MSUB?
Defense wins games. You just don't have to be good at offense to play. When I was a freshman, I probably scored 4 points a game, but I was just a defensive player, and that's why I played, and that's why I started. That's why I started my career, and now look at me. So
that's awesome.
Defense wins games.
All right. Well, thank you for coming today, and good luck with the rest of your season.
Thank you.
MSU Billings has reached the halfway point of the conference schedule this season. Thursday, the men's basketball team will be hosting St. Martin's at 7 p.m. Saturday night, they'll be playing Western Oregon at the MSUB Gymnasium. Tip-off for the game begins at 7:30 p.m.
Following this weekend's games, the Lady Yellowjackets will have a few more days of rest before they enter their next GNAC conference game. They will be playing against Seattle Pacific University January 26th at 5:15 at the MSUB Gymnasium.
As always, there will be live coverage at MSUBsports.com. If you're around this weekend, be sure to go and support the men's team Thursday and Saturday, both at 7 p.m. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Abby Defner, and we'll see you next week.
And I'm Andy Buckley. Go Jackets!
Ever since I was a kid, I've been dreaming about this. First day of practice, I was thinking about this. Picture on the news, yeah, they see about this. Even in the paper, they gon' read about this. Cause all of my life